Come along with me as I trial making these zipper pouches with a flat zip. Today I'm going to try and make the process a bit quicker by bulk sewing them. I'm using a scrap piece of leftover fabric and I'm going to try making pouches of a few different sizes. One of the reasons I started making these was because I wanted a lower cost item for my daughter to sell at our upcoming market. The pouches will have two panels, a front panel and a back panel. The front panel will be about 2.5 inches shorter than the back panel. That's kind of in the wrong spot. I'm cutting the first pouch 11 inches wide. I can probably do the same with that side. Make the smaller one in here and then a bigger one here. I'm thinking maybe if I cut it here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. I haven't done tiny ones yet. Got what? That one's wider, that one a bit narrower. The last one is the smallest one. This one's shorter than this one. It is a little bit shorter. Next time I think I'll square up the whole piece before I make individual pieces. So the measurements are 14.5, so take 2.5 of that off is 12, 6. Okay, so we want to do 6 and 6. So let's just make sure we get the picture we want. I'll put it up at 6 across there. Nice square in the fabric. So this one's not going to be quite as tall as that one there. Perfect. So I'll put it like that. Nice. That's that one. And the other one. So let's try the 6 there. Oh, if it's going to look a bit odd being that tall. I might actually try and do a bit shorter one. 4 inches. It's curious to see what like a 4-inch one would look like. Yeah, and it doesn't really have to be exact, so we can say that's a half plus that. Good. So it's going to make quite. Oh, there's no birds on the back. That's a shame. Pull tab on this one as well, maybe just on the side there, possibly like that. So fold this in half just to remind myself that it's not for the main pattern. One, we have this one and this one. Let's go have a look at what zips we've got. So here's some older ones. It's a different colour blue. See, I think I'll save it for those because it's got the red in the collar and I don't have any other reds. I think it's quite a hot pink. Oh, I quite like that actually. Decisions. I'm going to do these two in pink and that one in blue, and I'll have to order some more. I used the overlocker so that I wouldn't need to line these. By using thicker fabric and not having to do the lining or the quilting, it saves quite a bit of time. I'm cutting the threads short as I'll be using the sewing machine later to secure them. Now over to the sewing machine. I've put a zipper foot on and the stitch length is about 2.4. I realised that I didn't film at a very good angle, so a little bit later I'm showing you how to put the zips on the fabric with a different type of fabric. In this picture I have a directional zip and two pieces. Each is 10 inches wide by one's 6 inches high and the other one is 8.5 inches high. So with this closed zip, I want to line this up against a smaller piece so that the zip is on the left hand side, so that'll go like that. Then I'm going to fold it so the bumps towards the fabric, right sides in. I'm going to line the top of the zip there with the top of that, and we're going to stitch across there. With this piece of fabric and the upside down zip, notice that the short end doesn't have much excess. Most of the excess is done where the zip pull is, and that way later when you're top stitching you can make sure the zip's out of the way, but make sure to pull that zip back to the center before you overlock or close your sides later. Okay, now that we will take that piece that we've just sewn, push the zip back over. You're going to press the bottom piece of the zip towards you, like so. And then we're going to take the longer piece with the overlock top, turn that over facing the other cap fabric, and we're going to put that up to the top of the zip, like so. And we're actually going to put that on that end. Then we're going to sew straight down along here again. Got to try and pull the fabric back away from the zip on each side and stitch just on the fabric along here and top stitch along here as well. Yeah. This is the last of the top panels. Next, we're getting ready to top stitch. I'm now marking the corners before I overlock them. On the sewing machine, set the stitch length to 3 and sew all the way around the outside edge. Next time I'd put the zipper pulls in first before putting the clips in. I want the zipper pulls to close on the left-hand side of the pouch. You'll just notice that I manually wind it over the zip. If you don't do this, you might break a needle like I did last time. I want to reinforce the overlocking by adding a sewing machine stitch just inside the overlocker seam. I'm going to strengthen the overlocker stitch by back stitching over it with the sewing machine.